when your top lawyer compares Brexit fans to Nazis. Well. Looks like someone's been playing fast and loose with the historical analogies. What do you get when you mix a top government lawyer, a think tank speech, and a catastrophically toned Nazi comparison? You get today's absolute car crash of UK politics. I'm your host at Lady Brief UK News, and buckle up because this story has more plot twist than a BBC political thriller, right? So, picture this. Lord Hermer, Keir's Attorney General and supposedly one of the sharpest legal minds in the country, decides to give a speech about human rights law. Sounds boring, right? Wrong. Because our brilliant legal eagle thought the best way to defend the European Convention on Human Rights was to essentially call his critics, wait for it, Nazis. But wait, it gets worse. The speech that broke the internet. Now, let me paint you a picture of what happened at this Royal United Services Institute shindig. Lord Hermer, clearly feeling his oats, decides to launch into what can only be described as a masterclass in how to torpedo your career in one speech. He starts waxing lyrical about siren songs. And no, he's not talking about ancient Greek mythology or that annoying car alarm outside your window. He's talking about right-wing MPs and media who want Britain to ditch international law. Fair enough. That's politics, right? But here's where our learned friend goes completely off the rails. He decides to invoke K.L. Schmidt, a Nazi ideologist who literally helped Hitler justify political assassinations, because nothing says reason legal argument like comparing your political opponents to architects of genocide. It's like using a sledgehammer to crack a walnut, except the walnut is public discourse and the sledgehammer is, well, actual Nazi references. And the reaction, oh boy. The response was about as explosive as you'd expect when someone casually drops Nazi comparisons into Westminster discos. Robert Jenrich, who's been pushing for ECR withdrawal harder than a gym instructor pushes burpees, branded it appalling. And honestly, hard to argue with that assessment. But the real fireworks came from Kimi Badino, who basically delivered a political uppercut that would make Anthony Joshua proud. She didn't just call for Herrera's head. She served up a full 3-course meal of character assassination. Appalling judgment time and again, she said, rattling off his greatest hits like a political DJ spinning controversy classics. The kneecap case, the Go Island debacle. It's like a bingo card of bureaucratic blunders. And then comes the absolute killer line. He believes in the rule of lawyers, not the rule of law. That's not just political rhetoric. That's a surgical strike on everything Hermer represents. But here's the kicker. Badno throws down the ultimate gauntlet to Starr. If you had any backbone, you'd sack him. Translation: come on then, Prime Minister. Show us what you're made of. Now, let's talk damage control. So, how does our embattled Attorney General respond to this absolute tsunami of criticism? With the political equivalent of, I'm sorry you were offended. The classic non-apology apology. His spokesperson comes out swinging with a statement that's more twisted than a pretzel factory explosion. They reject the Tories' characterization of his speech because apparently calling Nazi comparisons is somehow unfair. But then comes a beautiful bit. He acknowledges his choice of words was clumsy. Clumsy, mate. Comparing your political opponents to Nazi ideologists isn't clumsy at political suicide with extra steps. It's like saying that Titanic had a minor collision with an iceberg or that Brexit was slightly controversial. The understatement game is strong with this one. But here's what this really tells us. Now, let's zoom out from this particular dumpster fire and look at what it actually represents. This isn't just about one lawyer having a bad day at the podium. This is about the fundamental tension in British politics right now. On one side, you've got the progressive realist camp, which sounds like a contradiction in terms, but apparently means never leaving international conventions no matter what. On the other, you've got everyone from Nigel Farage to chunks of the Conservative Party saying, actually, maybe we should be able to control our own borders without asking permission from Strasbourg. It's like watching a philosophical wrestling match between sovereignty and international cooperation, except one side decided to bring Nazi references to a policy fight. The irony? Hermer was trying to defend international law by comparing people to those who literally destroyed it. It's political own goal scoring of Olympic proportions. So where does this leave us? Right. So here's where we stand. Starmer's got a choice to make. Does he stick by his old maiden former donor? Or does he show that spine baddie not claims he doesn't have the smart money says Hermer survives is because let's face it, if you sacked every politician who made catastrophically stupid historical comparisons, Westminster would be emptier than a pub at closing time in a recession. But the damage is done. Every time the ECR debate comes up, and trust me, someone's going to remember the day the Attorney General thought Nazi comparisons were appropriate political discourse. It's a gift that keeps on giving for anyone who want to paint the current government as out of touch, condescending, and frankly a bit unhinged. And that, dear viewers, is how you turn a routine policy speech into a political hand grenade. Lord Hermer has managed to unite the political spectrum in a way few thought possible. Unfortunately, its in-thinking has made an absolute mess of things. What do you think? Should Starmer show some backbone and give Hermer the boot, or is this just another Westminster storm in a teacup? Drop your thoughts in a comment below, and please, for the love of all that's holy, try to avoid Nazi comparisons. If you enjoyed this delicious slice of political chaos, smash that like button, subscribe to Lady Brief UK News for more Westminster weirdness, and ring that notification bell because trust me, with this government, there's always another controversy brewing. Until next time, this has been Lady Brief UK News, keeping you